Okay, so this is going to be a quick little demo on how to set up a ledger, right? So a crypto ledger. And it may seem pretty simple to some people, may seem not so simple to other people, but I think it's important to understand that it's not what most people believe it to be, right? So great. So you get the thing out of the box, right? Let's do some setup here. Be good. Cool. All right, great. So you get the box, super happy about it in the mail, and it says, hey, this is a ledger, right? Great. You crack it open. You're going to see a couple sheets of paper in here with 1 through 24 lines. And those are going to be for your seed phrase. Right, the seed might be brownish, right? That's your seed phrase. And the seed phrase will grow into any ledger you want, which we can get to in a second. But great, so we got your seed phrase, cool. You break out the thing, you're like, cool, this looks like a USB stick with maybe like 2 buttons on it, or depending on the brand, it might be a Trezor, right? So it has this thing, like touch screen. I do not recommend this one because I got one, set it up, and the buttons stopped working. So then all of a sudden you're trapped, right? So let's not do that. Next up, let's look into, let's say this one, which might be a Nano, right? So the Nano is cool because, first of all, you set up your laptop, right? You download from the internet the Ledger software, right? So then all of a sudden, this has a window pane app that shows up and it shows you your account, right? And the screen also is really good too because what it has to do in order to work is on the side here you're going to also plug in via USB or C port, whatever it is, your device. Some devices are Bluetooth, right? So they can work magically without that. But let's just say you have one regular one with this. There's a couple things that you'll start observing happening when you start working with it. So one is going to be password, right? So it's going to have 4 to 8 numbers, and you punch those in there, and then all of a sudden you've unlocked this, right? That's the lock symbol. Once that's unlocked, then you can use your app here, right? So that would be good, right? And then from here, what you do is you can send and visually see if things are received, but you can also send your coin, whatever coin it might be, to other addresses, right? Cool. But if you just have this, that's one thing, right? This is just a physical device, right? So it's something you can literally hold and put a password in order to access this software here. Let's change up colors again. So that's kind of cool, right? Next up is you kind of have this whole setup here where let's do this and this, and yeah. So you have this setup, which is computer software, right? Plus ledger physical device, right? Those two things are two separate themes. And then and then you can interact with the rest of the world here, right? So those two things are put together. But the one thing we haven't really discussed is the interaction between your ledger and the seed phrase, right? Which is very, very, very important to understand. There's a giant air gap, they call it, between these two things. It'll be like this, right? So you don't want this seed phrase getting into anything internet related, and you don't want so you don't want that happening. So let's talk about some implications with this seed phrase situation here. And let's move it to a place where we can start expanding on it. Okay, cool. So let's do that there. Great. All right, great. So the seed phrase, as you probably already have heard, is going to be 24 characters. 24 letters. 24 words, right? Here. So 1, 2, 3, 4. And then let's just say we repeat that a few times. Like that. And then this you never ever want it to be seen by anyone or anything. So no cameras, right? No people, nothing, right? So you basically write it down, and then you put it into a safe of some kind, right? It's a weird looking safe, right? Or you take this and you etch it into metal, right? This is a good way to do it. And then you take that metal and you put it somewhere safe in your house, or maybe safety deposit box if you feel comfortable about putting it in a bank, which is actually third-party risk. So anyways, you want to treat it as if you're going to treat this phrase as if it were a bar of gold, right? So it's a physical bar of gold. Someone can steal it, and then if they steal it, they steal everything, right? Because this is essentially what creates the identity of these. So you could, quite literally, take this seed phrase, and you see these little branches I got going here. You could set up a new ledger for every single one of these branches. And each one of these ledgers can then control this process of sending and receiving your coins up here, right? You can crush and destroy. You can crush and destroy one of these ledgers, right? But it doesn't matter, because if you have the seed phrase, this seed phrase is the source of accessing the blockchain, right? Because let's say the blockchain was all these little dots and sources and seeds and whatever in the deep universe of the web. Your seed phrase is going to be right here, and as the blockchain gets updated in different ways, your seed phrase is still linked to the blockchain getting updated. So it's immutable, right? Cannot be changed, right? So cannot be erased, cannot be added to, cannot be changed at all. But if you do gain access to the tools like this and like this, you can link the tool to be able to manipulate that address to send and receive numbers, right? Coins. So that's a super rough situation of how this all works. So it's not like your coins live inside of some USB stick, and it's not like your password here and your software on your computer really have anything to do with the permanence of your account. These are just tools for transactions. But the thing that's going to be the most important thing on here is your seed phrase, because all of this can get destroyed. But if you have your seed phrase, it can restore the state. State of everything here. So, all right, next up.